stunning, and that really gave me the full Matchday experience.
The culture, the spirit, the cheers. I mean, look around. The atmosphere is absolutely alive.
Besides a beautiful view, you guys are beautiful people, right? Great sense of community as well.
Yes, I definitely say that.
I want to give you the mic, and I want you to turn on your sports presenter mode, commentary mode, right? And I want you to give me an atmosphere check. What's happening on the rugby field? What's the score? What's the atmosphere? Directly to camera.
Okay, so what's happening on the rugby field? What's
Score
happening
updates and
score
atmosphere
updates.
check.
Right.
And that is something I must tell you, in my opinion, is super unique to Stellenbosch University.
Now you've given me something that's unique about your university, right? Tell me that one thing that is really a hidden gem. When you look at Stellies, you would say that this is something that no one else has. Wits doesn't have it, UJ doesn't have it, University of Limpopo doesn't have it.
It's a unique experience, the landscapes are crazy, you have to discover this country, what happened here, like getting involved in what happened, and also that's a plus if you like wine and rugby. South Africa is a country made for you.
There it is, our first, let's call it audition for the 2026 FNB Varsity Cup right here at the Danie Craven Stadium. I can tell you that it's some end-to-end stuff on the rugby field right now. Big battle between UJ. As always, they bring tons of physicality, but Marties, they're a team that are always playing fast-running rugby, and it seems that UJ have just found a way to tame Marties a little bit at the moment. Of course, we've got 25 points on the board, and no team has scored any points just yet. But the action comes to you thick and fast. I want you to comment down below in the comment section, which team do you believe will win this big battle at the Danie Craven Stadium? It is the FNB Marties team. They are taking on UJ, and it's a big one. I can tell you that we've got a sold-out affair right here in Stellenbosch. The fans are having a great time. The drinks are flowing as always. Ons ken die storie. Die mense kan kuier hier so in Stellies. Just feel that energy, feel that gears, feel that vibe. We've got yet another fan that will join me on the couch. As you know, it is the Sport Kessa Matchday Xperience. Marties versus UJ. We've got our second fan on the couch. My brother, what's your name?
My name is James.
James, what are you studying at the University of Stellenbosch, and which year are you doing?
I am the same as Abby. I'm studying conservation, ecology, and entomology, and I'm also third year.
One of the smart kids at the university. How have you found your studies so far?
My studies have been fantastic, I must tell you. I had originally studied mathematics at another university overseas, and that was not fun. Biodiversity and biology is the way to go. It is beautiful, it is fun, it is interesting, and it's just so cool to be around.
So you're in your third year, right? So this is my first experience at the Danie Craven Stadium. The vibe is absolutely electric, right? Is it always this packed? Is it always this vibey? Because there's something in the water here in Stellenbosch. Because this is something next level, bro.
Stellies has got some really good water, but it is always this packed. If there's a game, Marties has the spirit and they'll always be here. It doesn't matter. It could be exam season, it could be academics, it could be the day after a good jaw, and they'll be here.
Is it the water or is it the cold cool drinks? Well, what would you attribute the vibe to? The water and the cool drinks.
It's the water and the cool drinks, but let me tell you something. There's this thing called Stelly Belly.
Stelly Belly? What's Stelly Belly?
It comes from the water, and sometimes you drink the water and it makes you not feel too good, but the alcohol makes it work thereafter. So
there's a remedy that you can try when you're here in Stellies. Brother, tell me, what is that one thing in your last 3 years of studying here that you've absolutely loved about your varsity experience, about studying in this absolutely beautiful environment?
So, besides the actual environment, the physical buildings, the campus, it's beautiful. You know, the University of Stellenbosch brings us a inclusivity that is, nobody else can beat it. Nobody else can do better, because there's societies, there's sports, even the academic staff are there to help you and to make you the best person you can be. And that is something I must tell you, in my opinion, is
unique about your university, right? Tell me that one thing that is really a hidden gem. When you look at Stellies, you would say that this is something that no one else has. Wits doesn't have it, UJ doesn't have it, University of Limpopo doesn't have it. What's that one thing that for you is truly, truly... There it is! There it is! First try of the game. Martins securing the first 5-pointer. Of course, now this is a big moment. As you know, 2026 FNB Varsity Cup, some innovation has been brought into this competition this year. There is a new sport pesa, tap or kick roll. In this moment, in this situation, yes, Martys, they have scored the first try, but choosing not to go with the tap or kick rule, meaning they've got 5 points on the board. Now they have an opportunity to slot away the conversion. Very interesting decision here by Martys. Now what this tells us is that Martys are playing it a little bit conservative. They don't want to put too much pressure on themselves. We've seen that UJ have had a solid defensive structure so far. So Martys don't want to waste an opportunity to add 2 points to the scoreboard. Let me just take you through this new rule that has been brought in by Sport Pesa. It is called the tap or kick rule. What does that mean? It means that every single time a team scores a try, either in the second half or the first half, they have an opportunity to indicate to the referee that, listen, we want to go for the tap or the kick. Then they go for the kick, or the tap, pardon me. Then it means that in alignment with where they scored that first try, they can get tap the ball from the 22-meter line. Then the defending team will be 10 meters back, and then the attacking team has 2 minutes to score another try, and that gives them 10 points. If that try was scored from the point of origin, what does that mean? From their originating half, the half that is their own. If they score that additional try, it gives them 10 points, but they can get an additional 2 points as well. So of course, towards the end of the game, 12 points can really turn a game around for you. James, my brother, you still having a good time?
I'm having a fantastic time. Well, we just scored. Of course I'm having a great time.
I mean, you're smiling from ear to ear. You're smiling from ear to ear. We're having a good time. A quick water break right here at the Danie Craven Stadium. Now, James, I was still asking you, what is that one thing that you would say is unique to your varsity?
So it may not be to the varsity specifically, but for me, James, we have a botanical garden here that is right off the edge of campus, and it is well known to all of the science students, and it is the most gorgeous, fantastic place to go and study and just be in nature and the environment. And can I tell you, it's unique to have something like that on campus, on your campus doorstep.
So are you one of those students that don't like to study in a library?
Oh,
You'd
no.
rather be out in nature, just hearing the birds chirping in the background, smelling that fresh Stellenbosch air?
Always. We have, there's a time for graft, and there's a time that you do have to hit the books, and not physically, but you have to hit the books in the library. But most of the time, the majority of the semester, you want to be outside. It's good. The fresh air is good for you. You study better when you're out in nature, in my opinion, at least.
100%. Talk to me about some of the traditions, right? Of course, we know that every varsity during O Week has its own unique traditions. Maybe if you live in a res, you might have gone through some initiation or some traditions as well, which are an important part of the varsity experience. What are some traditions that have really stood out for you in the last 3 years?
I think some of the traditions that pop out, I wasn't part of residence, unfortunately, but there are a lot of residents, and just for today's example, there was a group driving around campus in their cars, hooting the living daylights out of an academic day, and that's just part of what it is. There's small things that come out of nothing, pretty much, but they are so ingrained in the university itself that if those small things disappeared, it would feel like a different university.
100%. So, James, you saw Abby?
Yes, I did.
Go through a commentary moment.
Terrifyingly.
And I think you basically got a cheat sheet to the commentary moment, right?
Yes.
So, this year we're asking the big question, who's next? Who's the next Springbok on the rugby field? Who's the next super fan? But on the Sport Pesa couch, we're asking the question, who is the next big Varsity Cup commentator? James, I think you're the guy.
I can try my utmost.
James, I think you're the guy. The people watching you live right now at home, they think you're the guy, right? I'm gonna give you the mic. I'm gonna count you down. You're gonna look directly into the camera for me, and you're gonna paint the scene. Look at the scoreboard, give me the time, talk to me about the two teams, and paint this absolutely beautiful atmosphere where we get to experience nature and watch rugby. You ready?
I'll give my utmost.
Into the camera for me. In 3, 2, 1, action.
And here we are at the Danie Craven Stadium. It is 20 minutes into the first half. The sun is setting, the sky is beautiful, and we are about to kick off after the try from Stellenbosch University, the Marties. They scored the best try so far this game. It is the only score, but that's all right. And we are looking pretty good. Marties has a strong offensive side. UJ's defense was on top of it for pretty much the first half of the first half. And we wait now for the ball to go into play, but there's a standing line of Marty's players, and here kickoff goes. Kicking to the far left side, 13's going to jump, catch it, and it's dropped. UJ will make it through, tackled by number 15, and we are resetting. UJ is on the offensive and continuing on and moving forward. You know, they are capable of so much, and is there a break in the line? There's a break in the line. Tackled by number 9. They wait, they go through. They broke through, they stopped in the front of the line, the Marties stopped, the ref hasn't signaled anything. They overlap, there's the overlap, and they scored, unfortunately, but, you know, sometimes you have to give UJ a chance. Marties will come back in but a moment.
James, thank you so much, my brother, taking us through that first try for UJ. Big moment here for UJ. Of course, we spoke about it earlier on. These are the moments that count. These are the moments where the captain has to make a decision. Is he going to go for the tap or the kick rule? Interesting decision here by both these teams. I'll remind you that in each half, every team has 2 opportunities to use the Sport Pesa tap or kick rule. And in this situation, similar to Marty's, UJ have deliberately chosen not to go with the tap or kick rule. What does that tell us about UJ? They're viewing this game and they're saying, listen, we're not going to take any chances. Applying scoreboard pressure is the most important thing. Looking at the scoreboard right now, Marty's, they find themselves on 7 points. UJ, if they slot this away, hey, on the money, we know the story. We've got a big battle on our hands. Some would say, James, it's a heavyweight fight. One punch, another punch. Let's go, my brother, we're cooking. We're right here at the Danie Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch. FNB Marties versus FNB UJ. It's a big one. UJ, they're looking for their second victory of the season so far. Marties, they're chasing their first victory. So much action still to come. We've got 18 minutes left in this first half, and I've got James, who's an absolutely brilliant commentator. My brother, you did so well in that commentary moment. I have to, just like Abby earlier, the scrum cap, my boy, you've got to put it on, you've got to put it on, you've got to put it on. Hey, you're the man like done 60, huh? Yes, you're like how far, like many. I'm gonna give you this bad boy, You're gonna look into the camera for me and say, I am the next big Varsity Cup commentator. Keep up.
I am the next big Varsity Cup commentator.
That's it, that's my boy, James. My brother, you were looking sexy in the scrum cap, but unfortunately, I'm gonna take it back. Brother, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us on the couch, and enjoy the game. Hopefully Marty's wins. The action continues right here at the Danie Craven Stadium. Abby and James were absolutely fantastic. We spoke about it. We said Varsity Cups brings you every single moment in this year's Varsity Cup. 2026 won't be the same without these couch experiences, brought to you proudly by Sport Pesa. Of course, a special mention to all our sponsors, FNB, Steers, Sports Pesa, as well as Suzuki. We are having an absolutely brilliant time. Oh, Sweet Caroline, Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba. So good, so Of course, you're watching the action live on Supersport. Minimize the commentary there and join us for the Matchday Xperience, brought to you proudly by Sport Pesa. 16 minutes left in this first half. UJ have got a slight advantage. They currently lead by 9 to 7 points against the FNB Marty's team. FNB Marty's, they're a team under pressure. Remember last season they lost that big final to UCT. Heading into this season with so much to prove. Last week we spoke to their captain Ezekiel Ngobeni, the man who wears the number 9 jersey on his back. There's Scrummy. He spoke about the fact that yes, they might have been beaten by Shimlas, but they are hoping to use this stadium, Craven Stadium, as a stadium where they can gain momentum, secure their first W of the season. Unfortunately, the script that we've seen written by UJ has been a little bit different. You know, it's been a little bit of a challenge for Marty's, but we know Marty's are 5-time champions, so they will definitely come back, possibly late in this first half, but also in the second half. The one thing I can tell you about the 2026 FNB Varsity Cup is we've seen a lot of innovation coming into this tournament. The tap or kick rule. Remember last week, Marty's were the team that were named the Sport Pesa Tap or Kick Legends. They won that check of 1,000 Rand, but both these teams have had 2 opportunities in this first half to actually go for the tap or the kick, and both of them deliberately chose not to use the tap or kick. And what does that tell us? It tells us that both these teams are a little bit conservative. They don't want to put themselves under too much pressure. They actually want to apply scoreboard pressure. 2 points is more valuable than 5 points. That's what they're saying to us at the moment. But of course, as you know, the vibes continue right here on the Sports Pesa couch. I'd love to bring on our next fan.
Hello, mate.
Hey, how are you, sir?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. What's your name, sir?
I'm Malo. Malo.
Mado.
Malo. French name.
A French name.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Just hold your board up for me so that the camera can see it. Just hold up. Just move it forward a little. Nice. So, are you from France, if I may ask, since you have a French name?
Yeah, all the way from France. I studied there. Yeah.
Oh, wow, fantastic. So what brings you to Stellenbosch all the way from France?
I'm studied there.
You study here?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. What are you studying here at Stellis?
Why?
What are you studying at the moment?
What I study? I'm in a business school.
Oh, you're studying business?
Yeah, I'm an exchange student.
Oh, you're an exchange student.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. I love that. So, compared to France, your home country,
Yeah.
how has your experience been here in Stellenbosch?
Just have a look here. Just have a look here. Just
The nature is beautiful, hey?
yeah, that's very beautiful. That's very nice. I love France. I love much France, but yeah, South Africa is very different. It's very different culture, different landscape. It's beautiful. I love that. Even the rugby here, just beautiful.
I was about to ask you about the rugby. Would you say South African rugby is better than the French rugby? We know that South Africa and the French have a big rivalry. From your time here in Stellenbosch, would you say South African rugby is better than French rugby?
So yeah, you're the first one. But I hope that France will be like close of you.
Yes.
I think.
Okay.
I think we have a good team. Have a look on the Six Nations.
Yes.
Right now, we are not too bad, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, South Africa, like, everyone play rugby. You go at the beach,
Yes.
you see everyone playing rugby.
Yeah.
That's very nice. I love rugby, so this is why I'm here.
Yes.
And yeah, but France, it's also a nice country for that.
Beautiful. When you say to your friends and your family and you tell them about your experience right here in South Africa, or maybe you've got a friend in France that you would like to tell about the country so that they can come and visit it, what would you say to them? How would you sell South Africa to someone who lives in France? And I want you to say it in French and then repeat it in English.
I say in French, I repeat in English.
So you are basically telling a friend that lives in France about South Africa, inviting them and telling them about the experience here. I want you to say it in French and then say it in English.
Do you know French? Do you understand French?
I don't.
Ok. Du coup, je dirais que juste, c'est un pays incroyable. Pas du tout la même culture qu'en France, pas du tout une culture occidentale. Les gens sont hyper accueillants, contrairement à ce qu'on peut penser. C'est juste magnifique. Honnêtement, on pense pas aller en Afrique du Sud, mais c'est juste en vrai, c'est juste incroyable quoi. Là, juste là, on regarde juste ce qu'il y a derrière nous, c'est juste fou. L'ambiance ici à l'université, c'est incroyable, bien mieux qu'en France, honnêtement. Même la culture du sport, c'est juste fou et il y a tellement de choses à faire et à découvrir ici que bien sûr, venez, vous êtes les bienvenus quoi.
Beautiful. Just repeat that for us in English.
Yeah, in English. So I just say, come to South Africa. Like it's a very different country than France and even Europe or Occidental country. You will just change your mind about so many things. It's a welcoming country. Finally, all the people are good with you. Landscape just so nice. You can do whatever you want. Like you can do surf, you can play rugby, any sports. Even the mountains are just beautiful and yeah. So just come here and
have fun. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So you're a man who loves his rugby, right? Right? I want to challenge you, right? I'm saying I want to challenge you a little bit, right? This year for Varsity Cup, we are looking for the next big rugby commentator, right? So I want to give you the mic, and then I want you to commentate the game a little bit for me, right? Tell me about what's happening on the field, paint the picture for me, talk to me about the fans, look at the scoreboard, give me the time, and then give me a quick score update. Just a 1 minute commentary moment directly into camera. Are you ready for the challenge? And I want you to do it a little bit. Yeah. Sorry?
Why is it a challenge? But just have to describe what I see.
No. Some people find it challenging.
Okay.
Yes. But I think you're gonna find it easy. Yeah, you might find it easy. Okay, fantastic. Have you heard rugby commentators before?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
I watch many games, so yeah.
100%. I want you to look into the camera for me and give me your commentary moment. Just for 1 minute. Add in some French and add in some English.
Some French and English?
Yes, commentary. Like mix between the two languages.
Okay, I can do that.
Are you ready for me? Noah.
I have to keep that?
Now you can put it down.
Okay.
Look into the camera.
I start? Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Do I have to look the camera? Okay.
In 3, 2, 1, action.
Okay, hi everyone. Here we can see the gameplay of Métis against FNB UG. So it's a very good game. What can we see? What about the score? We can see FNB UG is just close to Métis. It's 9 against 7. First half, 10 minutes left to the second half. And now Métis is just like in the 20 meters of the UG. They are doing a very great job. Oh, okay. So I'm not very... It's difficult for me.
What?
Even in France, French is difficult.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
No problem.
Are we in direct live? Sorry? Are we in direct live?
Yes, it's just on our social media platform.
Okay.
I want to give you this. Please take off this hand. I want you to put this one on.
Yeah.
You just hold it there. It's a little bit small, don't worry. Put him on. And then I want you to hold the mic for me. And say into the camera. Unfortunately, I'll take it. Unfortunately, I'm not the best rugby commentator today, right? I've got the Winnie the Pooh hat, but I'll be back at the next game and I'll do so much better.
Okay.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm not the best commentator, as you can see, but I have the hat, the beer hat,
The Winnie the Pooh hat.
the Winnie the Pooh hat, and I will come back largely better. I hope.
Perfect. Now I want you to say it in French.
Okay. Bon, je suis pas le meilleur commentateur comme vous avez pu le voir, mais bon, j'ai la casquette de Winnie l'ourson et je reviendrai bien meilleur.
Perfect. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It was so nice to meet you, brother. Enjoy the rest of the game, and I hope that was fun, hey?
Yeah, that was fun.
I hope that was fun. Yeah, fantastic. Lekker. Well done. The action continues right here at the Danie Craven Stadium, right here in Stellenbosch Stallies. 8 minutes, 42 seconds left on the clock. Marties, they're on 10 points. UJ, they currently find themselves on 9 points. It's a big game so far. The one thing I can tell you about this first half, both these teams have chosen not to use the tap or kick rule. It tells us a lot about the defensive structures of both these teams. At the moment, UJ with ball in hand, they're the team who've had a slight upper hand. Heading into this one, we know that Marties were planning to secure their first W of the season. We know that UJ, they're smiling from year to year, of course, having secured a brilliant 61 to 41 point victory against Emirates in their first outing last week in Johannesburg. So the pressure is all on Stallies, Marties this evening. We spoke to the skipper last week, Ezekiel Ngobeni, a player to watch, building up into the 2026 Varsity Cup season. He was said to be the player to watch, a man with broad shoulders, but hopefully those shoulders can handle the pressure. We're coming to you live on Omni Audio Africa, as well as all the Sport Pesa South Africa pages. The action coming to you live from the Danie Craven Stadium. It is the 2026 FNB Varsity Cup. As we told you earlier, it is the Sport Pesa Matchday Xperience. I've got one of the Marty supporters watching the game, looking a little bit nervous. 21 minutes left on the clock. My brother, what's your name? What are you studying at the University of Stellenbosch?
My name is Kazimla and I'm studying engineering.
Engineering. So you're one of the smart kids that can balance watching rugby and studying hard because you're studying engineering. Absolutely beautiful. Talk to me about that scoreline, man. I think that scoreline is a little bit concerning. You know, Marties, they were beaten last week by Shimlas. Hey, they might get beaten again today. What do you think is going to happen here?
I think they're gonna turn around.
Yes.
They're nearly gonna win.
They're gonna win.
We still have time.
You still have time?
Yes.
What's the one thing that makes studying here in Stellish so incredibly special? What truly stands out for you?
The culture, the spirit, the yes. I mean, look around. The atmosphere is absolutely alive.
Besides a beautiful view, you guys are beautiful people, right? Great sense of community as well.
Yes, I definitely say that.
For the Sport Pesa 2026 FNB Varsity Cup, we are asking the question, who's next? And we are looking for the next big rugby commentator or sports presenter. I think you've got the personality. I think you've got the energy, right? I want to give you the mic. I want you to look into that camera, and I want you to paint a picture of what you're seeing on the rugby field. Give me a score update, and just tell me why people should come and watch a Varsity Cup rugby right here in Stellies. I mean, I'm sure you can do it. I mean, no one's watching, right? It's just some random guy here behind the camera, right? It's not nerve-wracking at all. I'm gonna give you the mic. Right? Just 30 seconds. You look into that camera. You ready? In 3, 2, 1, action.
20 minutes left at the Marties versus UJ game at Danie Craven. UJ is currently 19 and Marties are currently 15. Things are a bit tense. Obviously, Marties want to win, but we'll see. We'll see how the game turns around.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. That was brilliant. Enjoy the rest of the game. Hopefully, Marties comes out on top.
Yankee, when you're done.
Yeah. My sister, Dumalang Legay.
Naligay.
Our Rohona man. Hey, what's up with the Marties?
Yes.
Oh, that's why I was stressed out.
Yes, I'm stressing out. I'm crashing out because the scores are not looking good.
Ngarwa chuluga man, was stressed. So talk to me about this team, right? How long have you been supporting?
Yo, for 2 years now because this is my second year.
This is your second year for 2 years. Were you here for the final? Last year's final. When they lost. Okay. So you know the pain of this team losing the final. Coming into this year's season, they have a lot to prove. Ezekiel Ngobeni, the captain, so much pressure on his shoulders. For you as a fan, what are you expecting from this Maltese outfit?
So improvement. If we lost last year, they should have worked harder in order to win this one. Because we can't lose on our own home ground. We can't.
Look at the clock. 18 minutes left. 19, 15.
I have faith.
You have faith. It's going to be a late victory.
It's just one more score, then I'll be fine.
Talk to me about what are you studying at the University of Stellenbosch in your second year?
I'm studying accounting science.
Smart kids, eh? Baba numbers. Okay. And what has made your varsity experience so incredibly special? What do you enjoy about studying here?
I enjoy the diversity. A lot of people don't see that, but I actually like how diversified we are. Yeah, I really enjoy that.
And what would you say is one thing that is unique about your varsity? You won't find it at Wits, you won't find it at UJ, you won't find it at the University of Limpopo. Only here in Stellenbosch will you find this thing.
We live freely, it's safe. We don't have gates or anything. It's like a free place and it's so much safe. I actually like that.
So, how many told you Stellenbosch?
Even though they're there, but it's very rare to encounter them on campus, especially considering the fact that we're an open campus. Yeah.
What a little day one. So far is that Maltese have chosen not to go for the sport pesa tap or kick rule. As I say that, I see you are nodding your head. You know about the new rule, Angir? You don't know about the new rule? Alright. Let's watch this quick conversion here. Let's see if Maltese can go 3 points clear. That's it! Maltese, 3 points clear. You called it. I want to challenge you a little bit, right? So with the 2026 FNB Varsity Cup, we are asking the question, who's next? We are looking for the next rugby player that will become a Springbok, and we're looking for the next super fan, but we as Sport Pesa are looking for the best commentators, right? So I saw that you saw a preview on this side, right? I'm looking into the camera, almost becoming a sports presenter, sportscaster. I'm gonna give you the mic. I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit, and just in 30 seconds, I want you to paint a picture of what we're seeing on the rugby field. Give me a score update and paint the picture of the atmosphere right here at the Danie Craven Stadium. Who ready? When are you born ready? Go on. All right, let me give you a countdown. In 3, 2, 1, action.
Hi guys, this is the Stellenbosch versus UJ, and the score is currently 22 for Maltese and 19 for UJ, and it's currently looking good actually. Maltese is hyping up the place. Just hoping for the best.
How was that? It was fine. Now you killed it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the rugby and enjoy the festivities tonight. Because I've heard rumors that you guys you go hard. Alright, enjoy the rugby. Ciao.
Are you gonna go or should you come?
Hello. What's your name?
My name's Elami Tomonraki.
Beautiful, pleasure to meet you. We have this thing, right? We have this thing called Who's Next. That's the theme for this year's Varsity Cup, right? I want to give you the mic, and I want you to turn on your sports presenter mode, commentary mode, right? And I want you to give me an atmosphere check. What's happening on the rugby field? What's the score? What's the atmosphere? Directly to camera.
Okay, so what's happening on the rugby field? What's
Score
happening?
updates and
Score
atmosphere
updates.
check.
Right. So it's just hit. What time is it? We have 50 minutes and 12 seconds left. The score is 22-19. Things have just changed. I mean, I am super surprised at what UJ did today. It was not expected. We knew that Martins was going to lead. We knew that. We thought from the get-go, from the first second, that Martins would lead, but UJ showed us differently. And what's nice about what UJ is doing is showing us a new venture for small rugby schools, because UJ is not as big. The last time it won Varsity Cup was a long time ago. So the fact that they are here to pull out a game shows something, right?
Let it go.
What's happening is that Martins have changed their way of playing. Normally the Martins are going through the players, but UJ's the fans. Strong. So they've decided to ensure that they put the balls out and then they just convert or they do scrums. That's what they're doing. And it's helping them, twice. Exactly. There's a scrum. Hold on.
Who's holding the ball?
I can't see who's holding the ball.
Maltese captain, Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. Oh, he's holding the ball. He is like, he fly half. So he's going to put the ball in. Literally. Watch this. Yeah. I'm so sorry. There we go. Look at it.
Take us through it.
Wait, look at it. Just give me a second. Here we go. It's impossible to go through UJ. So they find some, strong defensively. So they're finding ways, avenues. But what they're going to do now, they're going to send. The thing is, it's a matter of force.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
In any sports, there we go. That's what I'm trying to do. Instead of playing, another try for Martins. It's 27-19. That is the only way we can win UJ. Not by going through, but just saying you go on. That is the only way. So what happened last night, they tried to go through. It didn't work. But I love the fact that they are changing the things.
Talk to me. We know what happened to Martins last season.
Sure.
They lost in the final.
Sure.
Right. Is this the season for Martins? What do you think?
The fact that they are versatile and they can change in the game and changing their game plan means that they could win. The problem with last season is that even when they saw that UCT was technically dominating, they did not change the play of way. So the fact that now Wuti, they see Wuti, okay, this is another way to do it, that is showing what's happening, right? So I believe they can win, but this is not the only style of way they should win. UCT is going to come where they catch you. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
As we know, 2026 FNB Varsity Cup, new innovation coming through. The tap or kick rule being used here by Martins. Nerve-wracking stuff here. They've got 2 minutes to score yet another try. Can they do it? Of course, they scored the try that took them up to 27 points. Ezekiel and Gubeni, the man who made a big call, choosing to use the tap or kick rule, brought to you by Sport Pesa for the first time. Of course, I'll remind you that game against Martins, that's where Martins were named the Sport Pesa tap or kick legends. Martins with ball in hand, winning the ball with confidence. Martins, UJ using the touchline as an extra defender. The question is, this is the first time that we are seeing the tap or kick rule being used, and unfortunately being used unsuccessfully. Lots of people will talk about this new rule being brought into rugby. Morgan Newman earlier on saying that he's not necessarily for it, but the fans are absolutely loving it. My sister, talk to me about this vibe, this energy in Stellenbosch. It's my first time experiencing Varsity Cup at the stadium, and the vibes are next level. What makes this place so special in your opinion?
Listen, in fact, I think let's swap this. How are you feeling about the whole sensation, the vibes? You said it's your first time, of course. So tell me about it. What is the feeling? What are you feeling? What is the energy? Did you expect it to be any different? Maybe down because it's Stellenbosch, or what was it?
To be honest, I thought they were going to lose. And then I think it's the vibe in the stadium that has just given them an injection of energy and pace that has allowed them to now lead the game 27-19. For you, on your side, as someone who probably, you live here, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I do live here. I am a student here. Yes,
You're a student
yes,
here.
yes.
How many Varsity Cup games have you attended? Quite a few, right?
Quite a few. I love Boston.
One too many, ne? One too many. More. Would you admit it to your parents?
Yeah, of course. They know I'm a sports fanatic. I really love sports. I love rugby. I love soccer. So this is where we really, we all together and we love spending time with one another. I'm not going to lie, the boys are not looking as comfortable as they normally look, but it is the second game and we all tried. The crowd either itself is normally not as down because we are so used to marching it out. We are very surprised with you know? But we will.
To someone who's watching us live right now on Omni Audio Africa, I want to give you 30 seconds to just sell this vibe, this energy. If they maybe live around Cape Town, the Western Cape, why should they come to Varsity Cup here at the Danie Craven Stadium? The next few matches that will be hosted by Marty. Look straight into the camera.
Listen, if you want to be part of the winning team, then you have no choice but to be here. That is just it. One thing about Martins, you know when it comes to rugby, we never fail. We have a skill, we have everyone. So ensure you put yourself here if you want to watch iconic rugby. I'm not talking about any rugby, but I'm talking about real stuff. But that is it for me. My name is Elami Tomumai. Cheers.
Thank you so much. You're an absolute star. Keep shining your light. Coming to you live from the Danie Craven Stadium, it is the Sport Pesa Matchday Xperience. We've got 4 minutes left in the second half. Marty's coming back strong. Yo, what a comeback from Marty's. They're now leading 34 to 19 points. UJ have really struggled in the second half, but we've got more fans, more Varsity Cup fans on the couch. I've got one beautiful lady. Please hold up your sign. What's your name? Luca, what are you studying and in which year are you currently at the university?
I'm first year and I'm studying BA Law.
Okay, first year students. Now, the first year students have been raving about O Week. How has your O Week experience been?
Yo, it was hectic. The lobby line, we were rubbing around the building, but you know, we made it through. We got into Lop at the end, even if it was at 11 o'clock, and it was awesome. Every night, great. Yeah.
What would you say has been a standout for you in the last few weeks being at the Stellenbosch University? Because a lot of people talk about it, a lot of people say it's a special university, but I'm sure there must be one or two things that have stood out for you in the last few weeks.
I think it's just walking through the campus every day. I look at the library and the campus, and it's just so stunning. And then another highlight for me was definitely fences. Just like Kiers and the overall Stellenbosch vibe was just something very unique to what I've ever gone through before, and it was just stunning, and that really gave me the full Martin experience.
When you talk to your other friends from high school that might have gone to other varsities like Tuks or Vids, would you say that you made the best decision to come to Stellies? Because at least this is my first time here and the vibe is next level.
Yeah, no, I would definitely say all my UCT friends are very jealous of me. All my friends going overseas, they're getting a bit of FOMO from the Varsity experience. And yeah, no, the Kiers is just unmatchable.
I want to challenge you a little bit, right? With Varsity Cup, we are asking the question, who's next? Who's the next Springbok player on the rugby field? And also, who's the next super fan, right? So I want you to commentate a little bit. I want you to look into the camera. I'm going to give you the mic, and I want you to commentate a little bit of the game, what's happening at the moment. Give me a score update, and just paint the vibe and the atmosphere right here at the stadium. All right?
Okay, see, I don't know much about rugby, but but all I can say is that I'm very entertained. And when I was in the drink stand and I came back at half time and Marty's was down, and then I came onto the field and all of a sudden Marty's was up. That was just unbeatable. And I would say that number 21 is probably the best player just because he's the closest to me. And we thrashing them, and like, what more can I say? It's just the Marty's way.
Are you much, Luca. Really appreciate it. Just give me back that cap.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the festivity tonight. Go wild, hey? Have a good time. Have a good time. Have a good time. Have a good time. Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
I'm doing well. Just hold up your board for me. Directly to the camera. Ah, beautiful. What's your name and what are you studying at the university and in which year?
I'm Paula. I'm first year studying BCom Business Management.
Oh, BCom Business Management, the future businesswoman I see. Absolutely beautiful. I have to ask you about O-Week because everyone is raving about the O-Week experience in Stellies. How was it for you and what was some of those standouts? Because I know I studied at Tux. O-Week can be daunting, it can be challenging, but it can also be special.
No, it was lots of fun. I'm in Res in Erica, so it was very busy mixed with Res activities, social, laugh a line like Lucas said. But overall it was super fun, met lots of people and I've really settled in well, yeah.
Would you say that some of your friends that you went to high school with are a little bit jealous that you get to have this beautiful view on campus and have these absolutely beautiful experiences that are different to any other varsity?
No, I would say so. Shout out to Maddie and Liv who taking a gap year this year. I do think they're very jealous. Stellies is just so beautiful, so nice. Everything about it's just 10 out of 10, yeah.
You say the varsity is a 10 out of 10. What would you say is an experience, right, that has really stood out for you during your O-Week in the last few weeks?
I think definitely the Res. With the Res welcoming, we had a serenade night, which was lots of fun, and just really meeting all the girls and really getting into that Res experience was lots of fun, yeah.
So this is your first Varsity Cup game, right?
I came when I was very young, but yeah, it's
How old were you?
maybe grade 3.
Grade 3. Wow, that's a long time ago. Okay. Are you here for the rugby or are you here for the jaw?
I'm here for everything. Rugby, jaw, mates, social, everything. I love rugby.
Absolutely brilliant. I want to challenge you a little bit. We have this thing called Who's Next? That's the theme for this year's Varsity Cup, right? And I want to ask you if you are the next big rugby commentator. Because I think you might be. Looking at the confidence, looking at the play, I think you might be. So, I want you to look into that camera and I want you to paint a picture for me. What is happening? There's 1 minute left on the clock, alright? Give me a score update, talk to me about the vibe and the energy. You've got this, okay? You just put your board down.
Okay, so we're here in the Danie Craven Stadium. Last minutes and 3 seconds, the clock has stopped. It is UJ versus Stellies. Marty's is winning 44-19, pretty dominant performance. Had a couple tries, pretty good. We've gone from lineouts into tries, tackles into tries. Yeah, UJ not looking too confident right now. They're starting to shake. Only a minute left. Marty's looking proper confidence, proper solid performance from the Martys. Have a good crowd and a good performance for the crowd, yeah. Right now the clock is still paused. Not sure what's going on, but hoping for a good end.
So,
Yeah.
you're getting the scrum cap. You are a little bit better than your cousin Luca. She's giving me a look at the moment. I'm not sure what that look means, you know? I want you to put it together. Perfect. Beautiful. Just hold the mic for me.
Yeah.
I want you to look into the camera and say, I am the next big Varsity Cup commentator.
I am the next big Varsity Cup commentator. Supersport, sponsor me.
Let's go, Paula. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much. Have some fun tonight. Where's the second location? Where are we partying tonight?
Ooh, might have to hit it off.
Okay.
See how the night takes us.
Okay. Taking notes. Where are we partying tonight? Where's the second location?
Jalapa, of course.
Jalapa. Okay, perfect. We'll see you guys there. Perfect. 30 seconds left in the second half. Marty's coming back strong in this game. 39 points to 19 points. Big difference, a whole 20 points. The one in interesting thing about this game is that the new Sports Pesa tap or kick rule was only used once by Maltese and used unsuccessfully so. When you look at the stats, last week Maltese were the team that were named the Sport Pesa tap or kick legends. Using it once this week, not necessarily being able to be successful, but great performance in the first half by UJ. They were in full control. But when you talk about class, when you talk about precision, that's exactly what Maltese brought to the table. The ability for them to handle the pressure, playing at home, feeling the sadness and the pressure from their home supporters in that first half. They were able to come back strong in that second half. The game has basically come to an end. Game is done. Maltese, they're about to win this game, securing their first victory of the season. Look at the fans, look at the fans. That's it.
Thank you so much. Open stand, thank you so much.
Full time right here at the Danie Craven Stadium. Big battle between UJ and Maltese. UJ had a big first half, unfortunately falling short in the second half in this big encounter. We know that UJ won their first game last week, Maltese securing their first victory this evening. I've got Tabang, one of the UJ players. Big first half from you guys. Unfortunately, things falling short in that second half.
Obviously, I think the boys, we just did too many mistakes playing on the wrong side of the half. I think first half we came with fire, a bit of discipline was good, but just not good enough. I think second half, just too many individual errors that let us down, just too many penalties, not playing in the right areas, and big up to Maltese, I think they counted on that. But yeah, I think major key point to the boys, I think we just got to go back to the drawing board, work on our mistakes and just get better from that, and I think we'll be okay.
When you look at the 2026 season of the FNB Varsity Cup, we talk about innovation. A big rule change coming into this year's season, the Sport Pesa tap or kick rule. Now you are holding the check for 1,000 Rand. Of course, you guys are the Sport Pesa tap or kick legends for tonight. Talk to me about this new rule. People are for it, some are against it, but one thing I can tell you is that the fans absolutely love it. For you as a player who has to use it to its full potential, but also defend it, how challenging is it? And are you loving the innovation that has been brought in this season?
Obviously, you gotta adapt to what comes and goes, and if obviously that's the rule, I think the team just adapted very well. I mean, it doesn't take away what we do. I think you just have to defend it. But all in all, I think the boys really pitched up to it and they didn't give up. And no matter if they scored and they had a tap and go, I think the boys just put their bodies on the line, and we just wanted one more defending. Yeah, but it's just about adapting and just doing your defense primers, and then everything will be okay. I don't know.
The one thing that I love about this competition is that we know that the big scouts are watching, Springbok coaches, Rassi Rasmus, he could be watching, chilling at home, Monday evening, spotting some talent. We know what happened with Ntokozo last season, going from his team straight into a Springbok training camp. For you as a player, how special is it to know that Varsity Cup gives you a platform for you to possibly get a professional contract and to move up in terms of becoming a professional rugby player?
Obviously, I think it's a very good platform. Obviously, the guys at varsities that don't have contracts, that really fell short. Besides Craven Week, they didn't make it. Some were injured. I think it's a very good innovation, just to let the boys just get scouts, man, and get the opportunity to showcase their talent. And I think it's very, very good for the boys, man, and it's very special. You never know what might happen. You might have a good season, you end up getting a contract, a Springbok or like Tokozo, and it can open doors. And I think it's really, really good for the boys and everyone.
Perfect. My brother, I want you to look into that camera for me. I want you to call out all your UJ supporters to come out and support you at your next game. Do you know what the next game is?
Yeah,
okay. Next week, Monday against?
We play against
Pukka. That's a big one. That's a big one at the UJ Stadium. I'm going to give you the mic. Look straight into the camera for me. Call out the UJ supporters. Get them to fill your stadium and get them behind you.
Obviously, to the UJ supporters, I think the boys really fell short today, but we're going to adjust more. We're going to go back on Monday, and I think we're just going to give it our all. We just ask that you guys just come in big numbers, just come support the boys and get a vibe on, man. Let's have a home ground advantage for the boys, and we promise we'll give a good show. But all in all, thank you.
My brother,
that is cool.
Unlucky today. Wishing you all the best for the rest of the season. All the best, brother. Sharp. Thank you so much for joining us. You can give it to this lady. It's full time right here at the Danie Craven Stadium. A man that we saw last week on the Sport Pesa couch. A man who was a little bit disappointed having lost to the Shimlas. He promised us, he said, guys, don't worry about it. We'll be back at the Danie Craven Stadium. He even called you out as a supporter to come and support them. And we saw the support tonight. Ezekiel Ngubeni, my brother, how special was that? Because I can tell you one thing. It was a little bit nerve-wracking in that first half. We could see you guys feeling the pressure, but just the ability for you guys to show the maturity, to show the class, to show that you guys are 5-time champions in this competition in the second half. How special was that?
No, it's pretty special. Great to be back at the Danie Craven, as you mentioned earlier. I mean, the crowd was so amazing. They really gave us good energy, and for us, obviously, we just stuck to our guns, and that ultimately gave us the victory at the end of the day. So I'm really proud of the boys.
So often in rugby, we talk about a slow start and a fast finish. You guys had a very, very slow start. When we look at the performance in that first half, it almost felt like you guys just weren't clicking. You guys weren't, like, you were in the game, but things just weren't clicking. For you as a captain in those moments, talking to your guys, motivating them, what's important when you guys are under pressure? How do you manage those situations? Because so often we as fans, we watch you as a captain, and we're watching the decisions and the calls that you are making. What goes through your mind in those moments?
Yeah, I think in periods like that, it's ultimately just sticking to your processes, sticking to our basics, and I think the guys really stuck to that, and ultimately we really made good plans. Credit to the coaches and for the boys for sticking to the plan. So I'm very proud of the boys out of that.
You talk about a plan, right? Last week was the first game where we saw the new Sport Pesa tap or kick rule. I want to hear, how did you approach the rule this week? How did you try and use it as a weapon? Because we saw you going for the option once, not necessarily working. Just your thinking process around the rule being the second game that you guys have had an opportunity to use it.
Yeah, I think the tap rule is really exciting. It can work in your favor and against you at sometimes, but man, I must say, it really makes the game exciting. It really gives you that extra edge when you under the pump, and even when you want to gain that advantage. So I'm really happy for that tap rule being initiated for us as a team.
We're heading into a big one. Next game, Marties traveling all the way to Pretoria. Ons ken die manne van Pretoria. Daai manne Klippa. What's the plan and the thinking going into that one? Because you guys have now secured your first victory of the season, traveling and playing away from home. We know against Shimlas, you guys unfortunately fell short in that one. Just for you, what are you expecting from the lads and also the supporters from the Western Cape that will be watching you next week? What can they expect from you guys as a team?
Yeah, I think we'll just want to take confidence out of this campaign, and out of this game rather, and then we'll make sure we put a proper 80-minute performance, because that's something we really want to look forward to challenging tomorrow.
And securing the next W, the second W of the season.
That's ultimately the plan. I mean, in this competition, the result is definitely important, so we are looking to go to Pretoria and really put up a proper performance for the crowd.
Perfect. I want you to look into that camera for me. I want you to tell all the Marties supporters that might live in Pretoria to come out next week and support you guys, taking on Tuks of Nuks, as they would say.
Yeah, to any Stellenboscher, any Martie supporter, if you want to have a good time, want to enjoy some good rugby, come out to Tuks, and we're really looking forward to see you guys there, put up a good performance for you guys. Cheers, guys.
Perfect, my brother. Ezekiel, thank you so much. Well done on the W, and we'll see you out at Tuks next week.
No, definitely.
Enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you so much, boss.
All good.
I like that.
Full time right here at the Danie Craven Stadium. Marty securing their first W of the season. Morgan Newman, a man who said that Marty's are under pressure heading into the second half, but he called it. He said that Marty's will win the game. That scoreline though was a lot bigger than many of us expected. Morgan, just your analysis of that second half. We talk about maturity, we talk about class, 5-time champions Marty's, showing why they've won this trophy quite a few times.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, Fantastic performance in the end from Marty's. I was having a little bit of a chat to Kabamba after the game. Not happy with the full team performance, but I think there's a lot of positives to take from that, I mean, we spoke about it at halftime. As soon as Marty's picked up the intensity, picked up the pace of the game, all of a sudden they came alive, I think you spoke to their captains just a couple of minutes ago, but, behind a pack that's going forward, the Marty's juggernauts, as soon as they start to get a little bit of momentum, pick up the intensity, all of a sudden we see the team come alive, and so lots of positives to take from that last 20 to 30 minutes. I thought there was really positives there. Other than that, it was an arm wrestle, and I think, confidence is a real thing in rugby, Coming off the back of a loss last weekend, they obviously came here a little bit tentative, and you could see that in the opening exchanges, sort of UJ came with a lot more confidence after their victory. Marty's, you could see, were sort of not quite sure, how the bounce of the ball wasn't always in their favor, but as soon as the wheels started to turn and gain a bit of momentum, after that break, I thought they really started to look like a team that has won this thing 5 times. And so if they can take that last 20 minutes of performance and take it through the rest of the season, then I think the other teams are in trouble.
Let's talk about the player to watch. A lot of people are talking about Ezekiel Ngubeni, the scrum half, the man who wears the number 9 on his back, the man who's the captain of this Marty's outfit. A lot of people are saying that this is the man that will carry the future, not just of this Marty's outfit, but we also know that he's got a professional contract with the Western Province, which is also special. But for a player like him to carry that pressure, and also we saw him score a try as well, just the way in which he's handling the big moments, because I know for you as a former player, you watch the player a lot differently to how we watch him as a fan.
Look, fantastic performance, mature man. It's often difficult when the pack's not going forward, but he seems to manage the game really well. He's got an eye for the gap. What I like about him is he varies his play so much. Sometimes he finds himself out in the wide channels. I mean, he scored a disallowed try, with that left foot step of his is fantastic. But I think just the maturity of his game as a whole, his game management between him and that 9-10 combination. Before the game, I actually said to director of sports press, I said to him, I think this game's going to be won or lost in the decision making between the 9 and 10 channel. And in the end, I think I was pretty accurate. He managed the game really well. I mean, their 12, they got man of the match, performed really well today. I think he was a lot more direct than we used to. I think he really gave that impetus to that backline, setting that first target for Marty's. But in the end, I mean, Ngubeni is a man of the future, and we've got to nurture him and look after him very carefully.
Most certainly. One thing about the 2026 FNB Varsity Cup is we spoke about innovation. I asked you your opinion on this new rule change, the tap or kick rule. The one thing that was quite interesting to me in this game, and when you look at the bigger picture of this competition, looking at this new rule, is they didn't actually use it as much. Does that say that the defenses of both sides were actually strong and the captains didn't want to take a risk of going for the additional points? It was almost a better option to just go for the conversion and slot away the 2 points.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's I think it was a case of building an innings for both sides. The tries, look, because it's a low-scoring game, both teams never really felt like they had the upper hand, and so because they're not having the upper hand, that extra 2 points with the confidence in their kicker is almost more important than going for the extra 7. So I think in other games you might see it differently, but this was a real, like I mentioned earlier, a real arm wrestle, and when you get arm wrestles, going for the extra 7 is not always the right decision. And I think the pre-match chat would have probably been, let's build an innings, let's get a lead, let's get the confidence up. I don't think, as we spoke about, I think Marty's confidence is riding very high at the moment, and so based on that, I think it was more a case of let's get into the lead, let's keep the lead, and every single point really matters. And in the end, I mean, they went for 1 or 2 later in the game, scored 1 in that actual extra time. So is it am I a fan of it, yes or no? I'll tell you at the end of the season again.
Not yet.
Not yet.
This Marty's outfit, they travel to Pretoria next week. They've got 1 loss, unfortunately, against Shimla's last week. They've got a W this evening. Heading into that game, we know that the boys from Pretoria are incredibly physical and they are big boys. We know that Tuks will fill that stadium. The vibe will be there, but it will be a tough test for Marties as well. We know the story heading into the season. They lost in the final last season as well. How big of a matchup is next week against Tuks, and what do they have to do right? When you look at this game, a little bit of a slow start, great finish. They have to have a performance both in the first and the second half. In my opinion, what would you say is vital to them beating Tuks away from home?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's no secret going to Pretoria. The altitude plays a role, number one. But what are they going to do to win it? I think, again, I think they've got to play at the intensity that we saw in the last 30 minutes. Can they do that at altitude? I think the bench is going to play a massive role, in Pretoria, based on the fact that trying to keep that intensity for 80 minutes is a tough ask. But we saw so many positives. I think we know that pack. The other thing is we know that pack of Marties can be really effective. But we also know there's a couple of quite skillful players amongst them. So playing in the wide channels, I think, is going to be really important. Shifting that big Turkish back around is going to be of utmost importance. And then it's a very important game. I mean, it's the third game of the season now, and there'll be no more excuses almost. The first one you feel going away to Bloem, tough place to go. Coming home, you expect a victory. Now, with a little bit more confidence, I'm fairly confident that we could go and pick up a result, but I think it's going to be harder than a lot of people think.
I want to ask you this question. I've asked a few people like Jonathan Mokoena, Brett Burns on the Omni Rugby podcast. Who do you think is going to win the Varsity Cup this year? From the first two rounds that we've seen, give me at least three options, and we'll keep you accountable at the end of the season.
Oh, you're going to hold me accountable to this, aren't you? Look.
Or at least give us a final. Who will be in the final?
Look, as an ex-Marty, I don't think I'd ever go against the Maroon Machine, especially based on the last 30 minutes that I just saw. But I do think there's a lot of they're going to have to fix a lot of errors there. I think there were errors strewn in the early exchanges. So if they can iron those creases out, then I think Marties will certainly be up there. Tukkies, after their performance last week against UCT, I thought that was a really, really impressive performance. Do we write off our neighbours down the road? I'm not too
reigning defending champions.
Reigning defending champions, so you can't write them off. But if you ask me the final, then I think we're going to see a replay of next week.
Okay. Morgan, we'll keep you to it. Thank you so much for joining us on the Sports Pesa couch, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thank you for having me. So
fantastic. Perfect.